Mazda MX-30 review. What is it? The MX-30 isn't Mazda's first electric vehicle per se. It's made several prototypes, including the absurd, kinda egg on wheels X005 concept of 1970, but it is Mazda's first production EV. Careering straight down the plug-in crossover route seems like a safe bet for pulling in buyers. Indeed, Mazda says it shifted more than 2,000 examples in the UK in its first year and a bit on sale. But there are lots of clues Mazda's doing things differently here. The name, for starters, MX is usually the prefix of coupes and roadsters, most notably the MX-5, so affixing it here, in lieu of more explicit EV badging, draws a real line in the sand that we should think of this as sporty. What else makes it stand out from the pack? Its freestyle door layout. Check out the gallery above, which apes the RX-8 coupe of the mid-2000s. An odd choice, you might suggest, given that cars' unfashionable thirst for fuel and oil, but much like the retro styling of the Honda E, it's an immediate talking point whenever somebody stops to poke around your MX-30. In fact, the dinky Honda is arguably this car's closest rival. Their prices align fairly neatly, as do their range figures, Mazda claiming 124 miles on the WLTP cycle. Or a smidge more if you mostly drive in town. Wait, only 124 miles of range. Yep. Or 106 miles real world, in our experience. Mazda's done the sums and worked out that smaller batteries have a significantly friendlier CO2 emissions footprint over their lifetime than larger batteries. And break even with an internal combustion engine, i.e. counterbalance the high CO2 output of their manufacture with their lack of tailpipe emissions. After far fewer miles. It's also researched its target buyers and concluded they don't need any more distance from a full charge. And how big is the battery, exactly? It's 35.5 kilowatt hours, and we're told the MX-30 will never get a bigger one than this. Instead, larger range figures will be yielded in the future by the addition of a rotary range extender unit, which should be a heck of a lot lighter on fuel than Mazda's last rotary-powered car, that voracious RX-8. What's the best electric vehicle for nipping around town? This is a 5-seater, but the rear is probably best reserved for little uns, while the interior itself keeps it firmly in Honda e-hunting ground. While not quite as revolutionary in its layout, its mix of vegan seat materials, plastics made from recycled PET bottles and actual cork trim give it a firm hipster brunch spot vibe. What's the competition like? Other than the Honda E and perhaps the Mini Electric in the small premium car with NAF range segment, you've got the likes of the Milligram ZS EV, Hyundai Kona Electric, Peugeot E, 2008 and Vauxhall Mokka E in the small SUV with decent range portion of the market.